We just got our first look at the 2025 Las Vegas Raiders Thursday, and I'll just say this. The 23-23 tie with the Seattle Seahawks wasn't pretty by any stretch of any imagination. What's the saying? You have to start somewhere, and the Raiders have a full month to get right what they need to get right. Seeing them play the way they did after what I saw and heard from them in training camp was a big disappointment, but it wasn't 100% bad. The Raiders have a ton of work to do before they can say they're ready to take on the New England Patriots in the season opener. One good thing that I can take from this game is there were no injuries to important players that I know of. There were a few good and bad things to take from this game. Here's what I saw and what I'm taking from it. Listen, I don't want to hear any more about how backup quarterback Aiden O'Connell should be the starter. The Raiders brought Geno Smith in to start this year for a reason. Thank goodness he's here. O'Connell's performance Thursday night was like his career up to this point. Something pretty good followed by something pretty bad. There were a few throws that wouldn't have been complete if he didn't throw them exactly where he threw them. Then there were some throws where he had a guy wide open and he just misfired. 2 of those throws were picked off by the Seahawks. He needs more consistency to even remain a backup. Looks like Cam Miller is coming. He went 6 for 7 for 76 yards, including a 41-yard bomb to Cedric Jackson. Miller is part owner of Tom Brady's guy, so O'Connell has to do better. I wonder if he was a little tight because he knows that. O'Connell was 18 of 30 for 205 yards, a touchdown on those horribly thrown passes for interception. There are some guys out there with fantasies about there being a quarterback controversy, but there isn't one. Miller might pull up on O'Connell for the backup spot, though. If the Raiders have plans on doing anything this year, they better do something to fix that offensive line. As many of you know, I'm not a big fan of the experiment moving Jackson Powers-Johnson to guard and Jordan Meredith to center. Powers was the best center in college football in 2023 and looked dynamic at the position for the Raiders last year when he played there. I'm not going to lie to you to make myself look right though. The Raiders' problems on the offensive line aren't because of Meredith and Powers being out of position. Meredith was solid at center and Powers was still tossing guys around at guard when run blocking and pass blocking. Right tackle DJ Glaze gave up pressure early and had help from tight ends and running backs, but he got better as it went along. He wasn't very good run blocking. The run blocking wasn't very good as a whole. Left tackle Colt Miller was in there for only a couple of plays, and left guard Dylan Parham was good in pass blocking and so-so in run blocking. I'll tell you what though, Lakitasi has me very curious now. He was dominant against the Seahawks third stringers. I want to see him against second stringers now. I was never worried about the receivers, and I'm sure not worried about him now. Jacoby Myers dropped his only target last night, but I'm not worried about that. If anything, it means he got it out the way and he's not going to drop a pass during the regular season in back-to-back years. Second-round pick Jack Bech had a catch last night and Philip Dorsett looked good. So did Trey Tucker as he took advantage of the fear the Seahawks defense had for his speed on the comeback route he caught. Dante Thornton was the guy that I was most looking forward to seeing though. He had a great rookie camp, OTAs, mini camp, and training camp. He looks like a future star. In the game, he missed the back shoulder fade because he didn't get himself turned around in time to make the catch. O'Connell also missed them open deep. Well, there were a few plays that he was open, but O'Connell either couldn't get it to him or just didn't see him. He did have a 17-yard catch to convert a third down, though. He didn't look bad at all for a guy playing with the lights on for the first time in the NFL. I don't know about you, but I'm waiting to see what he and Smith can do together. Now we go to the defense. I'm not going to single anyone out, but let's talk about missed tackles. If I were to single someone out, it would be Pete Carroll. When you have a bunch of guys on your team making the same mistake, it's coaching, right? Then again, I don't know if I can put it all on Carroll because in practice, you don't actually tackle. You make simulated tackles. The thing about that is that's what everyone in the NFL does. So why did the Raiders tackle so much worse than the Seahawks Thursday night? Carroll was actually known for having one of the best tackling teams in the league before. I hope it was just one bad night and the Raiders can somehow straighten it out before the season starts. From what I saw, the main cause for it all was taking the wrong angle to the ball. That's the thing about players looking good in camp and not looking so good in games. We have to factor in tackling because you don't just assume the tackle's going to be made like you do in practice. You actually have to take him all the way down to the ground. The San Francisco 49ers are coming in for joint practices next week. I don't know what they're going to agree to, but at some point they have to tackle to the ground in practice. I'll tell you what though, linebacker Jamal Adams is tackling without any kind of problems. He had 3 tackles on Thursday night and all of them were run stops. Again, I'm not going to single out guys that missed tackles throughout the game, but I have to recognize the one guy you can see brought his tackling game with him. Watching him last night made me wonder if he's going to take one of the starters' jobs. The coverage on the night was good too. Corners Eric Stokes and Darian Porter were sticky during their time in there, but I'm going to give some love to the guy that got the Raiders a turnover. Yes, my guy Isaiah Pulomau. I call him my guy because I predicted he would make the team in 2022 and eventually start and become a star, and so far he's making me right. He just has to become a star, and plays like the one he made Thursday night are going to get him there. The Seahawks tried to throw a pass in the zone. He was in quarters coverage and he stepped in front of it and made a nice diving catch for the interception. Anytime he's the deep safety and gets to read the quarterback's eyes, he's good. He has great instincts, all kinds of range, and he's a big hitter. He just needs to work on his man coverage skills. The guy I'm paying the most attention to right now is interior defensive lineman Thomas Booker. The Raiders needed an interior defensive lineman after losing King Zesty recently, so they traded corner Jacorian Bennett to the Philadelphia Eagles for him. I didn't like it at first because I thought they can get more for Bennett, but I forgot he's coming off of surgery on his shoulder. It's hard to tell what a player coming off surgery is worth. Booker might be one of those guys that's ready to break out this year too. He was just stuck behind superstars like Jalen Carter in the rotation in Philadelphia. Oh, something I noticed here is this trade was made shortly after the Raiders hired Anthony Patch as their senior personnel executive and Brandon Hunt to be their vice president of personnel. They came from Philadelphia, so they know something about Booker. He could be a guy that turns into something in Las Vegas, especially with a guy like defensive line coach Rob Leonard coaching him. He looked like he had something to him Thursday. He showed good closing bursts to the quarterback and the ability to get penetration in the run game despite only being in Vegas a few days. Of course, we have our eyes on running back Ashton Jeanty too, but he only had 3 carries and his workload probably won't get much heavier than that this preseason. We'll have to wait to see him. Keeping him healthy and productive is the offensive line's job, and I see some concerns there, and I can't say his power is in Meredith right now. I want to see what Tossie could do with the twos next week. Oh, and now you know O'Connell's a backup, and that's if that. No more on that. Oh, and tackling's pretty bad too. I don't care if they tackle to the ground for the next 3 weeks. They need to do something. But of course, I'm loving Adams. I'm loving Thornton, and I like what I see from Booker too. Thank you for watching. See you next time.